So Chris Brown, CB, I feel has mostly as of late been trying to just, kind of mind his business and do him, drop hints, fly over almost how much was that? How many people were in that crowd in his concert in Africa? 100
90,000.
90,000 people live watching CB do his thing on stage. So I feel like, he's been chilling a little bit, right? But there was a recent docuseries that came out. It was about his history of violence, right? And a good portion of the series was based off of a woman that was suing him for assault and other charges. Once, even though police declined to file a police report from this woman, and there were several pieces of evidence, including text messages that Chris submitted, that showed that she was not being exactly honest about whatever the situation was between them and their hookup. Essentially, what it sounds as if happens, according to Chris, was that they hooked up and he didn't call her anymore, and she became very persistent. At any rate, her lawyer ended up dropping her and so forth. However, Investigation Discovery released Chris Brown: A History of Violence, a docuseries, alleging, and Chris Brown has said that the docuseries was straight up lies. So, in court documents that TMZ got a hold of, because TMZ gets everything, CB has accused Warner Brothers Discovery and Ample, that is the production company who created the series, of promoting and publishing defamatory claims against him. He even states that they allegedly had the proof and still went forward anyway with the docuseries, knowing that their narrative was false. He said that not only was this Jane Doe who was at the center of the docuseries repeatedly discredited, but he said that he also has never been convicted or found guilty of any sex-related crime. And so he said that the docuseries labeled him as a serial rapist, and they did so without proof. And basically, they hurt his pockets. And he said that he wants the producers and the Jane Doe to pay up. Well, not the Jane Doe, but essentially he said that the claims against him are really about past mistakes that he's made, that he's moved fast, and that he's taken accountability for his situation with his ex Rihanna and has grown from them, and that the producers were pushing an old narrative. So Chris Brown said he's been directly impacted, and the cost to make these things better for him, $500 million. And he said that he partially plans to donate to victims of sexual abuse should he be awarded this amount. So not only is he doing this for himself, he also is doing it to help real victims of sexual abuse, in his words. Malkuth X says, wasn't CB trying to get his master's? I believe Chris owns already a great deal of his master's based on his contract, but you might be right about that. However, do you think that it is time to let go of past narratives regarding Chris Brown? Rihanna has forgiven him. She even started dating him again for a period of time. You don't remember when Rihanna and Chris Brown got back together? They also released a song. It was also while he was dealing with Karrueche. You don't remember Christmas Day? He was with Karrueche in the morning, and then the next time we saw him, he was courtside with Rihanna at a Lakers game. This was a few years back. So, but she's obviously moved on. She has a family. She has stated many times over she does not want to be the face of domestic violence, right? Karrueche has moved on with her life. She let the restraining order she had against him expire. Excuse me. I don't think that they're friends, but I think that they seem to be good, right? So, I'm just wondering why at this, and I understand everything. We're in a content driven era. Content. And there are stories to explore, and there's an audience for such. I just mentioned Chris Brown did 2 concerts over in Africa where 90,000 people were on deck to see him. He's still making music, still drawing an audience when he goes out on tour. When is it time to sort of move past the previous narrative? I know that there were some issues, and even those have been a few years back where he still was immature, doing things that we consider inappropriate. But again, even in that, at what point is it, okay, he's not for me? And do we move around it? I mean, it's been almost 16 years.
Exactly.
It'll be 16 years next month. The funny thing, I remember going to a performance at the Hollywood Athletic Club the night before that event happened, where Rihanna was performing along with Timbaland and Carrie Hilson. And they were there. I remember they were like kind of arguing at the thing. But how far removed are we? Like, they're in 2 totally different places. Rihanna, I mean, this is what kind of, and again, I'm not saying you have to forgive him. I'm not saying you have to stamp him. I'm not saying you have to be a consumer of his products. But what I am saying is it necessary to rally against him every time he does something at this current stage? I'm simply asking the question.